So appreciate you all being here, and it's a pretty important day in the history of the Warriors. We're here to announce Mike Dunleavy as our new GM, and very, very excited about it. I wanted to say, first of all, that Mike has been with us for 5 years. Is that right? 5 years. It's almost impossible for me to imagine. It seemed so quickly that it went by. But I remember meeting Mike first with Bob. I think we were in New York. We had a dinner once about 5 years ago, and here we are 5 years later. He's new GM of the Warriors, so really excited. I want to say, first of all, I think we're very, very fortunate that he was in our organization, and I think we had a good sense. I had a good sense all along that if something ever did happen with Bob, that, and which was a possibility clearly, that we had someone in waiting and in training for the job. He's 20 years of experience in the NBA, 15 years I believe as a player. And 5 years with us, so a lot of experience with NBA, with coaches, with teams, with organizations, with the league, and all that. So I'm actually a really experienced guy when you really get down to it, if you really think about it in terms of the NBA. He is a person who has a family guy, has 4 kids. He's fits culturally and has fit culturally very much in line with the way this organization runs and operates, and is a very collaborative person, which is very, very important because I've said it a million times in our organization. It's a we thing, and I can't emphasize how important that is. This is a we deal. This is not me. This is not Steve Kerr only. It wasn't just Bob Myers. It's not just the players, although we had to have some great players, including one in particular that is fantastic in terms of legendary with this franchise. But it really is a we effort. And Mike fits right into that. The cultural fit was spectacular. The cultural fit was spectacular with Mike. And so I think we're spectacular with Mike. And so I think we're, very, very excited to have him here today and to be able to announce him and his appointment to the job. I want to say right off the bat, I don't anticipate any other title changes in organization with Mike as the GM. Kirk will, in case I know people are going to ask this, Kirk is going to remain in his title, which is, I think it's EVP. I don't pay a lot of attention to titles, to be frank, but basically same role he's had, and he's been with us 13 years, so he has a role in the organization. And there'll probably be some other changes Mike will make going forward within the organization, raising the responsibilities of some, obviously, to take up some of the slack. But overall, very, very excited to have him and welcome him here today.
To go about improving our roster. We got one key player that we'd love to bring back, and then after that, my main objective, our group's main objective, would be to improve. I feel like going into it, we've got a shot to contend for a title again. So I'm confident about that. I'm excited to continue working with our great players, our coaches, and our staff. As Joe mentioned, the thing that I've experienced here and feel great about is the collaboration, all of us working together and creating the synergy that's gone so well here. So really appreciative of the opportunity, Joe. Thanks again, and here we go. I'm open to any questions or anything anybody has. Until we get the paperwork and the filing, we can't really comment or say much. So I will say, I think Steve has said it, and I'll reiterate, we really want Draymond back. What he means to this organization, this team, in terms of trying to win at the highest level. We feel like we have to have him, so that's very important. Beyond that, I think a lot can be made of all the challenges that are coming our way, whether it be aging roster, the new CBA with some of the limitations there, anything else you can bring up. But we're aware of all those things, but we also feel like we're in a great place because we've got a competitive owner willing to spend, and a group that's really tied in. It's got good synergy, good processes, good sound decision making, so we feel confident we can navigate it.
Joe, I just kind of wanted to ask, I know you mentioned like the collaborative approach that the front office has always taken, but obviously there is an ultimate decision maker, a power structure within a front office. Do you view, Mike's elevation to the level from a power structure standpoint that Bob was at, or is that shifting at all?
No, it's he's the top basketball decision maker. You can call titles whatever you want. He's the top basketball decision maker in the organization. Perhaps a little bit of difference is that when Bob came in, actually, it's hard to remember, all these years ago now, but he came in right as an agent and was an assistant GM, actually, when he started. And we promoted him to GM, and then he got a title change subsequently, with success and more of a compensation thing, I think, more than anything else, because he was really in the same role. And so Mike is in the same role. He's the top decision maker within basketball. So from my standpoint, he's the guy that I'll be calling however many times people think I call him a day. Actually, he called me this morning. I just want you to know, woke me up. Actually, I was up, but I was watching a show on TV, first take.
Joe, a couple quick questions moving forward, and also on Jonathan Kuminga.
We love having those guys here. Jordan, especially with his contract extension, plan to have him here for 4 more years at least. And then Jonathan's, he's shown really good progression and growth, I think, in his first couple of years. Unfortunately for him, I think the playing time hasn't been there, and so it's on all of our shoulders to figure out how do we get him in the game more. It's on Jonathan's shoulders to improve and make the right adjustments to his game, as well as our front office, our coaching staff are figuring out what works. So both those guys, really, really good young players. We're pleased with. They have great value around the league, and obviously a lot of rumors and stuff come up at this time of the year, but we're happy with those guys.
Hey, Mike, just to kind of piggyback off of that.
And just investment in this team, with what we've been able to witness the last few years, it's just been incredible. Love coming to the games and seeing our fans and the way they bring it each and every night. We've got the best crowd in the league, and just an amazing following, not only through the state, the country, but the whole world. So thank you for your support. And then from that, I think despite what people have said, the future is bright. The future is bright because we have good players now. We have good young players, and then, like I said before, I think our processes are good, our decision making is sound, and we're capable of doing the things that we need to do to have long-term sustainability. And so I think we all should be excited.
How involved do you think he will be over the next couple of weeks, and how involved do you want to have him, in rebuilding this roster or doing whatever you do in the next couple of weeks?
Well, look, Steph can be as involved as he wants, as far as I'm concerned, but that's not his personality. He likes to be kept in the loop on stuff, which he's earned and deserved. So I think just because we value his opinion, his thoughts on stuff, I think you're always running things by him. But Steph just wants to work on his game, play some golf, be with his family, so I'm not going to bother him too much.
What's just kind of your vision